Radio France, and then we just changed our name to NollywoodRadio.com. I'm your host, Cyprian Josson. Today, my special guest is the director of MISFIT. It's the Nollywood movie that's screened here in Paris in the Nollywood Film Festival. So can you just give us your name and tell us who you are?
My name is Daniel Emeke Oriahi. I'm a Nigerian filmmaker. I brought my first feature, my debut feature film titled MISFIT to France, to Paris, France, where it was selected for screening at Nollywood Film. Yeah, so I've been making movies for 8 years. Doing short films primarily. Went to film school. I've done several short films and documentaries. I've equally produced music videos and commercials. But it had always been my dream to make movies. But I knew I couldn't just delve into it, especially from where I come from, where there's already some kind of structure on ground. So I had to take time to research on the industry, what makes it take, just basically understand how it works before I embark on my own future. So, yeah.
So I watched your movie. I was in the hall, the theater, the film hall, and I watched MISFIT. And everybody, there was a type of quiet. I think breathtaking. For me, I felt different scenes. I don't want to give the movie away, listeners, but it's a movie you have to watch. Real. The cast, fantastic. And I'm not trying to flatter the director because he's just here in front of me. But how did you put this together, all this together? Let's start with the script writing. Who did that? Is it from you, the script writing?
Well, the story was from me. I wrote the treatment. It took me, I'd heard about, I was inspired by an article I read, and I decided to use that as my source of inspiration for writing the story. So I wrote the story, and I got a screenwriter. We worked together on it, so I shared co-writing credits, and we wrote for over 6 to 8 months because we wanted to try and make something that wouldn't compromise our limitations. We had financial limitations, obviously. And those were things, like I told you, I was studying the industry while I was equally still writing. So a lot of that influenced my writing because I wanted to make a movie that was accessible first to Nigerians without compromising my standard. So it took us 6 to 8 months to write. And basically that's how we did the writing process.
Now, watching the movie, one issue I'm going to bring up in this conversation will be all about mental health in Nigeria. Did you study people that, because here we have psychiatric homes, did you study that before writing the script?
Yes and no.
I mean, did you research or because no observation?
I said yes and no in the sense that I did observe. I equally experienced firsthand such psychological degradation. A long time ago, I experienced something of that nature, and it became part of my developmental process because it was a very negative experience, so while making the movie, I think at some point I wanted to emancipate myself from what I had experienced at some point, and I decided to make something that would free me from that. So when I read the article, I was inspired to use it as an avenue to emancipate myself from that mental observation I had experienced at some point. So I have, to a very large extent, seen people, studied people, observed people who have mental disabilities and talk violence and I've seen those degradations actually.
Now, you said when you read the article,
yes.
Can you just give us a brief summary of that article you read that inspired you to write this movie called MISFIT?
Okay, it was in 2006, 7 or 7. I can't remember what year particularly, but I saw it was about a man who gave a very graphic detail of his experience with ritual killers, and it was so graphic. It felt like I couldn't believe it at that point. Like, wow, okay, so this kind of things happen. It was he got on the bus, which happened to be, you know, run by these ritualists and all that, and you know, and it eventually he found himself in some unknown place, and you know, he recounted his ordeal, and I was just amazed that wow, so this kind of things happen in Nigeria, and I was like, this is a good story, you know, and it just inspired me to write, and I started writing, and I started developing, and while I was doing that, I started recounting things I'd equally experienced, because I had to now develop characters. You know, so like the first Q&A session we had, somebody asked, why did you make this movie? What part of you is in this film? And I said everything. The room, the character being aggressive, the past, the guilty conscience, you know, all these things were part of the process. They actually, you know, there are just a lot of things that accumulated to make the film what it was.
I think it's a universal story, because in the Western world, that's what many people in Nigeria or Africa don't know. People are suffering from stress, and people are suffering from different types of mental disorder,
yes.
But they have to put them in a mental home.
Yes.
You see, that's just the difference.
Yes.
But others also can be in their home, and then we're hearing problems of suicide.
Yes, yes.
You see,
yes.
so in your film,
yes.
it's a film that takes, in my opinion, I think if it's going to win, I don't know. Because, I pray, because it touched me a lot to see the question of rape, and again linked somehow with somebody who was mad, and again you brought in the story of Osu into that film. Can you tell us the combination of, because it must have been very difficult for you to write?
Yes, it was. I was trying to make a film. I have always said that I see myself as a filmmaker that cannot be pretentious.
Yeah.
I have to be a reflection of my society, things that have marred, scarred, and affect my community.
Yes.
So while I was writing the story, and I was writing about a woman who had been considered an outcast,
yes,
I had to understand the concept of being an outcast, what they go through, because there's a part in the story where she explains that she couldn't have a child with the guy because she's an Osu.
yeah,
She never thought about escaping because she's an Osu.
yes.
You know, how classifying people into sectors and this demeaning, degrading,
Yeah.
you know, affects their psychological makeup. You know, so I wanted to touch on a lot of things without actually emphasizing them, because that's just a big story, and I might not do justice to it.
Yeah.
From if I concentrate on trying to embark on that topic. So what I did was I had to touch on these things.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. Sorry. So, there's good side of it. The words freedom, determination, hope. Look at the lady. Giving hope to someone makes me think of Mandela. Yeah, be free. You can be free. I love that. I love that aspect. Now, finally, it became a good ending, because it can inspire people, even in France, watching it, they are all inspired because there's the word of freedom. You can be free. Find your way out. So how did you come with that?
Well, I think at some point you go through this process in your life where at some point in your life you realize or you discover that the only person that can actually save you from your circumstance is yourself. It's like
I know you are emotional. You that was the situation. Your situation now was my situation when I was watching it.
Wow.
I was gripped, breathtaking. You said, wow, this is a movie. And again, what I loved so much is you kept the time, the movement, the after effects. Everything was real. I was thinking that how did they manage to bring out all these things that look real?
I'm glad you observed that. While we were writing, while we were producing the story, we discovered that the best way we could tell it was to tell it as realistic as possible.
Yes.
So we decided to shoot it like a documentary.
Yes.
A studio documentary.
Yes.
And we had to get actors who are not your ordinary kind of actors.
Yes.
Condition them.
Yes.
Every actor was conditioned.
Yes.
Every actor was put in a certain way so they could portray their characters properly.
Yes.
And it was a very difficult process for Nollywood.
Yes.
I was so grateful. I was so fortunate to have individuals who were willing to trust me.
Yes.
Before we started the movie, I gathered them and I told them that they have to trust me.
Yes.
That we're going to make a descent into insanity and lots of horror. But they should trust me that we'll come out at the end. And they all went with me. It was worth it. So we actually thought of these things, best ways to make it. And that's why when you're watching the film, sometimes it goes out of focus. You know, it comes back to focus. You are hearing a sound that is totally, because I wanted it to feel very real.
Yeah, it was.
So I wanted it to feel very real, and that made it very uncomfortable for a lot of people because a lot of people don't want realism.
Now we have this type of cinema.
Oh, definitely.
It raises debate. I like it. I like it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
But where I'm coming from, Nigeria,
Yeah.
you know, we are still in that phase of escapism.
Yeah.
Because everybody says, oh, the world is too hard. Nigeria is a very hard country.
Yes.
We have portrayed ourselves too much as negative people.
Yes.
You know, but I said, I cannot carry a signboard and protest on the street.
Yes.
I can do that through my movie.
Yes.
I cannot afford to be pretentious.
Yes.
I come from a country, a third world country.
Yes.
I come from a country that is very rich in natural and everything. But we live in squalor and poverty. So many limitations. Since I came to France, there has not been a blink of power.
Yeah, it's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
It's true. Yeah.
You walk out, everywhere is looking nice and
Yes.
safe.
Yes.
That's what is happening in my society.
Yes.
And we cannot pretend it doesn't exist. It does exist. Even at the time when most of these Western countries were going through developmental stages, they had people who wrote about these things, who spoke about these things in their literature. Everywhere. Everybody said, so why are we now not saying that in our movies? Why are we not, as the filmmakers, why are our musicians, why are they not saying that? Till tomorrow, people are talking about Fela.
Yeah.
Because Fela spoke. Yeah. It's a difficult role, but hey.
Yes.
So imagine we have everybody speaking up. There will be cause for change.
Yes.
So I wanted to touch on these things and get people talking and asking questions. And when you ask questions, solutions are right.
Now, listeners, it's a wonderful movie, and just one question: have you put this movie in competitions from the world?
Well, to be quite sincere, no.
Okay.
I am exploring the opportunity now because I wanted to make money out of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct.
To make money out of it, which I'm still trying to, because the subject is very difficult for a lot of people to appreciate.
No, in France, I think
I know in France
it's accepted. Yeah, it's acceptable.
That's why I said I'm not exploring.
Yeah, it's acceptable in Europe. Yeah. So on DVDs will be after.
Well, DVDs are going to come out very soon.
Yeah, okay.
Very soon, I mean, like in this month of June.
Okay,
It's going to be locally distributed.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm still going to explore, like I said, the opportunity of some cinemas.
Okay.
For me, as a filmmaker, I want to be known as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I think this particular work is the kind of work that any filmmaker will be proud of.
Yes.
For a first-time feature.
Yes.
It has its flaws.
Yes.
It obviously has its flaws.
Yes.
However, I think it's a good piece.
Yes. And then, what do you think about this festival? I mean, the Nollywood Week Festival.
I think it's great. I think it's great in the sense that the movies that have been selected are very unique.
Yes.
They are different from your conventional Nollywood ideas.
Yeah.
They are just been. It's been very humbling.
Yes.
To come to Paris to present my work.
Yes. It's great. Right.
It's been. I feel so honored.
Thank you.
You know, and I just pray for them. I've been telling the organizers that they should just keep at it.
They will.
Even with all the shortcomings,
I know they will.
should keep at it, and they should not compromise.
Yeah.
Because they know the French are very intellectual about film. So the kind of movies they should bring in should be.
Have you got a website where our listeners can contact you when the DVD will be out? I think it's going to be on your website or for renting.
Yes.
And again, so that we can know more about you, please give us your website.
My website for now is www. You can go to MISFITTHEMOVIE.com, www.house5production.com. You can equally follow us on Twitter, at Misfit the Movie, at Filmic25, which is my personal handle.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, Misfit the Movie. Daniel Emeke Oriahi on Facebook, basically.
Thank you very much for giving me this interview. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.